Welcome to Friday Friends, RI Elder Info's weekly look at the organizations and individuals providing resources for Rhode Island seniors, caregivers, and professionals.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It is 9 o'clock on Friday, and you know what that means. It is time for Friday Friends, where I, Deb Burton, Executive Director of RI Elder Info, bring to you information and resources that you or someone you know needs to know about. So I need you to hit the like button and the share button and help us get out this very important information. Here in the month of May, we are really focusing on mental health awareness as well as older Americans and those two things together. So I am really excited by my guests today because I attended one of their trainings and really learned some exciting information that I think everybody you know needs to know about, particularly these days. So I have to give a big shout out to our sponsors that let us come out here and do this every day. So thank you to Point 32 Health Foundation, and thank you to Aetna and United Healthcare, Oak Street Health, 321 Media, England Studios, JD Solutions, and all of our individual donors. We really would not be able to do this without their support, and we are extremely grateful. So today I am inviting up my guests, Bethanie Ratto and Madeline Marlow of the East Providence Prevention Coalition. Hi, ladies. How are you?
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
So I had the pleasure of attending one of your trainings a few weeks back where you shared some really interesting and new information regarding older adults and mental health and substance use disorders. So if you could share with everyone, what is the East Providence Prevention Coalition and what is going on over there?
Well, the East Providence Prevention Coalition is a citizens volunteer group that is dedicated to promoting healthy lifestyles in East Providence, and this includes all residents, and we focus heavily on mental health awareness and substance use prevention.
That's awesome. And are you finding substance use disorders increasing in the older population, staying the same? I know COVID has really changed a lot of lives, and not just for those folks who had COVID.
Yes, substance use disorders increased across the board, especially after COVID, but Rhode Island older adults are experiencing a greater increase of opioid use disorder. So,
wow. And what kind of information or resources are available for either the professionals who are serving older adults or for the older adults themselves?
Across the state, we really focused on our Count It, Lock It, Drop It initiative, where we are able to secure medications to keep others safe, and making sure that we're aware of how many and what we do have in supply in our homes to keep them away from others misusing them, and also an awareness of a quantity that we have, because so often we're finding that our older population, it isn't necessarily purposeful, but they're overusing what they have, also so that our youth aren't using them as well. We also are finding that our older population are being overprescribed medications, and it's not being monitored appropriately.
Oh, wow. And is that something that has increased since COVID, or do you think it's one of those things that maybe folks just kind of keep extra medication in the medicine cabinet, for like, just in case my shoulder hurts, I'm going to keep that, I don't know, OxyContin, or just in case I feel like I have a sinus infection, I'm going to keep those antibiotics. Is it that kind of thing? Or do you think it's, I just want to hold on to meds?
I think it's a combination of both. COVID obviously affected people's mental health tremendously. So there is people that are using opioids and other substances to cope with their mental health issues, but also older adults especially are keeping medication just in case that shoulder does begin to hurt. So it's a combination of both.
And do you find that it's something that maybe someone has those medications in their possession and maybe it's not just them that's using it? Is it something that, family members may unfortunately go to mom or dad's cabinet or grandmom or granddad's cabinet and take them out for their own use?
Yes, it's pretty good among teens. Most teenagers that do misuse substances do obtain them from a family member or friend's medicine cabinet. So, particularly with teens, that's why we encourage count it, lock it, drop it. So, really,
So tell me more about this Lock It, Drop It initiative.
Count It, Lock It, Drop It is a statewide, actually a nationwide initiative that we promote year round, honestly, to make sure you count your medications, so you're monitoring them, how many you have, how many when you took them last. Lock it is secure in a secure place, either a locked bag, a locked drawer, a locked medicine cabinet, something of that nature. And then drop it is to dispose of them properly. We don't want you flushing them down the toilet or throwing them in the trash. You can dispose of them at drug take-back days, which are held twice a year, last Saturday in April and in October. They're usually at your local police departments. You can also dispose of them at your local pharmacy, like CVS does have drop box locations. And then you can also contact your local prevention coalition, and they could probably provide you with the Terra, which is like a drug disposal device on our system.
Now, those drug take-back boxes, I know in East Providence, there used to be one in the police station. Are boxes available in most communities in case somebody needs to get rid of medication besides the 2 drug take-back days?
Most municipalities, their police department does have a drop box location. East Providence does not, but we do have one at the CVS on Warren Avenue here in East Providence.
And we launched, I'm sorry, Tim. We launched an initiative with our fire departments, our police station, our libraries, and our senior center where we offered doTERRA for free to our community, which is a carbon medication disposal where you can put it into the pouch, add some water, and it deactivates the active ingredient in medications, and it can be disposed in the trash where no human or animal would be harmed by just the disposal right in your regular trash can. So those are offered at all of those locations in East Providence for free to our communities during, like, at all year round, so they can dispose of it between take back days.
And you brought up a good point that I had actually never thought of, that if you were throwing your medication like in your regular household garbage and you put it out to the curb, it's certainly possible for the neighborhood dogs, cats, raccoons, etc., to get into it too. I hadn't even thought of that possibility. And when somebody is taking medication to say the CVS pharmacy to get rid of or something like that, do you have to show your ID, or like, are you allowed, say, maybe you're cleaning out a loved one's cabinet? Can you just like bring it in and put it in the box and walk away, or do they have to collect your information? Like, can you drop it off anonymously?
It is completely free and anonymous. There's no questions asked. When you do use the drop boxes, they're in the pharmacy section, but they're not, manned by a pharmacist 24/7. So it's very discreet. You can just go in and drop them in. And then in drug take back days, those are the same as well. No questions asked. You can leave the labels on if you want to. You can take them off if you want to. We're not going to go and look at what you have or nothing like that. We just want them disposed of properly.
So when you walk in, maybe with a bottle of antibiotics from 1974, they're gonna be like, yeah, whatever, just put it in the box.
Right.
All of those just in case things.
Yeah.
So in the training that I was in that you guys provided, you shared some statistics regarding opioid overdoses and our older adults. Can you share a little bit about that?
Well, what we've really found is that this has become an invisible population to many people, because when you think about an opioid overdose, nobody really stops and thinks about somebody's grandmother or their grandfather. There really is a stigma behind overdosing. And what we're finding is that because of that invisibility, these this population isn't being diagnosed appropriately because of their chronic illnesses or ailments that they're going through. Even their primary care doctors aren't.
They're not screening for substance use disorder. So,
Mm.
unfortunately, in 2021 alone, the population between 45 to 54 experienced 105 overdoses, and 55 plus was 100 out of the 485 in Rhode Island. So,
Wow.
Yeah,
that's over almost half of the overdoses that occurred in Rhode Island in 2021 were of the population of 45.
Wow, that's stunning, because I think that there's a misperception as to what it looks like when someone is overdosing, and not necessarily people 45 and up representing half. So that's pretty stunning.
It's very important for prescribers to also prescribe Narcan or naloxone when they're prescribing opioids. And every Rhode Islander does have a prescription at the pharmacy that they can go and obtain for Narcan or naloxone. However, it depends on your insurance. You might have a copay. But if you ever in need of it for free, like, you can contact your local prevention coalition or treatment recovery center, and they'll provide it for free.
Oh, wow. Are there prevention coalitions in most of the communities in Rhode Island?
Yes. Every municipality in Rhode Island has a prevention coalition, and then there's also 7 regional coalitions that oversee throughout the state.
So if somebody needs help and maybe they have a substance use disorder, whether that be opioids or alcohol or other things, can they reach out to the Prevention Coalition to get access to some resources that might be helpul?
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I love that in stereo.
You can go to Rhode Island, riprevention.org, and that will give you more information on where who to contact for your local prevention coalition. And then here in the East Bay, it's eastbayprevention.org. And we actually have mental health signs all throughout the community now, awareness signs that you can scan a QR code, and it'll bring you to a page with all the local and national resources available here. So, and I know other prevention coalitions have put those out as well.
And so people do have access to information and resources. And if somebody is a professional and they wanted more training, maybe they work with older adults, are there training opportunities available?
Yes, we are providing older adult population serving organizations with a training provided with Opioid Stewardship Fund grant money. We do have a upcoming training on May 23rd at the Senior Center here in East Providence at 11 a.m. So if you would like to attend that one or other ones throughout the state, just contact us. I know our contact information is at the bottom of the screen, and we'll be happy
to direct you to when the other trainings will be. But ours is on the 23rd at 11 at the Senior Center right here in East Providence.
If people want to invite you to come give a presentation, is that possible? Can they do that? Say it's a church or community organization or other faith-based organizations. Can they invite you to come out and give a presentation on this topic? Because I feel like many hands make the load light, and substance use disorders is just exploding everywhere.
Absolutely. Like, we will come to you, we'll come to anywhere and provide this training. So, yeah.
And our umbrella is very big. Substance use disorders, mental health, suicide prevention. Our coalition does cover an awful lot of subjects and we're here for the community.
That is awesome. So even suicide prevention, are we seeing an increase in suicidality in our older adults?
It is something that goes along with the overdose, even though it's classified as unintentional. For the most part, we are finding that there are intentional overdoses that are being classified now. It's a categorized number.
Okay.
And a lot of it, much like you said, stems from the pandemic.
Yep.
It's the isolation, the loneliness, and even in our surveys among our older population, they're separating themselves. They're not getting out the social aspect of it, really separated that their ability to be able to connect, to make those human connections.
So I just want to say to everybody who's watching, if someone is experiencing an emergency, of course, dial 911. But if someone is in trouble and it's not active acute right this very second and they need help, or you need help supporting them, from any phone, it doesn't matter if it's a hardline phone, a cell phone, you can dial 988 and get them the help that they need right away. And if you're an organization, a faith-based community, a library, etc., people can just call the Prevention Coalition or go to riprevention.org, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
And
what other ways, if people wanted to engage with the East Providence Prevention Coalition or maybe their community's prevention coalition, if they wanted to help support the work that you're doing, how can they do that? Are you a nonprofit? Do you need donations? Do you need volunteers? Are you having fundraisers? Anything like that?
We do meet monthly, usually at City Hall. It is the last Wednesday? Third Wednesday
of the month. Usually at 6 p.m. here at City Hall. I know that any local prevention coalition in the state would be happy to have volunteers at any moment in time like that. But we would love to have volunteers and people that are passionate to really motivate to create change and positive change for healthy communities. We would love to have volunteers for that. Some are nonprofits that accept donations. East Providence Prevention Coalition is not technically a nonprofit because we're kind of under the umbrella of the city of East Providence. However, we can accept donations through the city.
Okay, that makes sense. But many hands make the load light. So I'm sure even if it's just, handing out flyers or making sure that in your local library that there's information that, hey, if you have leftover meds, like you can drop them off at these locations, or if you're experiencing an emergency or you want more information, like just spreading the word.
Exactly. Yeah.
Any last thoughts, ladies? I'm so glad you're able to come on today.
We appreciate you giving us the time to help spread the message. We do have a very active youth group. Our volunteers that do come to our council meetings are extremely, they're very active, they're very gracious. And we, like Madeline said, we always welcome new hands to help lighten that load. We do a lot of active tabling in the community, a lot of work with other local organizations and partnerships. So everybody is welcome to join us in this mission.
This is awesome. Thank you so much for coming on today, ladies. It's so important. And I love it when I learn new things and I can bring that information out to the community. So I really, really appreciate what it is that you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Well, everybody, as you know, the substance use disorders, the opioid use crisis, alcoholism, mental health, all of those things escalated during COVID, and many folks are really struggling. So if you're in the East Providence area, reach out to the East Providence Prevention Coalition. Their number is 527-7008. If you're not and you're watching from another community, reach out. Every community has a prevention coalition. You can go to riprevention.org and find the information you need. Obviously, if somebody is in immediate crisis, you'll call 911 for them. Okay, don't hesitate. If it's something that kind of gives you that feeling something's not quite right, you can dial 988 either for yourself or get information for the person that you're concerned about. Those numbers are free, they're confidential, and they are available everywhere in the country. So please don't hesitate. You watching, you matter to me. And I want to see you all again next week. So if you're in crisis, please don't hesitate to get the help that you need. Because why? Because I want to see you next week. And in the meantime, be well and be kind.
If you like this video, please follow us on social media and subscribe on YouTube. For more information, visit rielderinfo.com or call 401-585-0509. If you have any questions, email deb@rielderinfo.com.